What is up, ladies and gentlemen? All you beautiful human beings, all you beautiful women, men. Nah, I don't know where I'm going with the L stop. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys had a beautiful, wonderful February 7th, Wednesday, hump day. We got 2 more days of this week coming up, and boy, oh boy, was today fun in the market. New all-time highs, QQQ punching through, S&P 500 punching through the market, going right back to the north side. A lot of stocks going up, but I think one stock kind of stole a little show today. A random stock out of nowhere, a low float stock kind of stole the show, at least in my opinion. But there was a lot of opportunities today to make some money off of. Hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of the market. If not, you're at the right show, at the right time, at the right spot, because we're going to talk about all the possible opportunities tomorrow to make some sweet, sweet dollars, especially that one stock that kind of stole the show today. And it went a little crazy in the after hours. We'll talk about that stock later on, but you know how we always do on the stream. We start off with talking about all the stocks with earnings movers such as PayPal, Disney, ARM, Wind, Mattel. All the after hour movers that I'm interested in are the ones that I just mentioned. Tomorrow pre-market looking a little dead, sadly. The only stock that I'm looking out for in the pre-market is Philip Morris, but that doesn't mean that we don't have stocks to trade. We still got other stocks that already reported, such as Roblox, Uber, Baba. Couple other stocks are reported recently. Palantir going into a new 52-week high around $23. So lots of positions are moving around. Like I already mentioned, QQQ at a new all-time high, SPY at a new all-time high. So we still got the Magnificent 7 moving around. Nvidia ripping to 702 or 703 today. So monster opportunities across the board in the market. If you're watching for them, you will be able to take advantage of it. So let's get started, because we do have a little bit of a big watch list for tomorrow and I don't want to waste too much time. So let's get started over here with all the stocks on board, which is starting with, where's the watch list? Bang, there we go. The watch list starting with stocks such as PayPal, Disney, as I just mentioned. And then last but not least, we'll look at the Magnificent 7 and end with the overall market, QQQ, S&P 500, and IWM. PayPal already reported today after hours, and they actually flushed to the downside. So I did ourselves a little favor, since I'm at home right now for 2 weeks or so. I have a little bit extra time, so because with that extra time that I have, I spent it, I guess, a little bit valuable for you guys and for myself. I started making chat GPT summaries for the stocks that reported after hours. So here we go about PayPal. So PayPal Q4 revenue increased by 9% year over year. Adjusted earnings per share for the quarter came in at $1.48 compared to the estimates of $1.36. So the EPS was pretty good over there. Total payment volume rose by 15%. That looks good. Transactions were up 13%. That's good. Active accounts decreased by 2%. So even though all the numbers are going up, the daily active user accounts are actually going down by 2%. Operating cash flow is 2.6 billion and free cash flow is 2.5 billion. PayPal outlook includes 6.5% increase in Q1 revenues and mid-single digit growth in adjusted earnings per share. Full year 2024 revenue is expected to be in line with the 2023 at 5.10 share, below the analyst estimate. So I guess the full year guidance is hurting them a little bit today, because they did drop in the after hours. Despite positive results, PayPal stock, like I said, it was down. PayPal stock flushes about 2.28% after hours. That was at the time that this report came out, but PayPal basically down a little bit more than that. We're now around at $58, basically around $58 overall after the whole move has played out. We did get an initial pump to the north side, almost $70 coming into play, but failing and then pushing right back to the downside, and sellers really pushing the stock down, not liking what they saw, I guess, on the report. I mean, so far everything did look good. Everything was greenish right? They're up on most of the numbers that you want to see them being up on. I guess the active daily users going down 2%, and also the full year guidance going way below the estimates. They're estimating 5.10, and the estimate was 5.48, let's say 5.5. So basically they're down almost 40 cents over there on the estimate. Hence, the future not looking that good for PayPal. So another flush on what looks like a positive earnings report, sadly, for PayPal. Not another good report for these guys overall, or at least not a good move on the report for these guys. So let's go see the stock on the hourly chart. Kind of get ready to throw in some charting maybe. I'm gonna, come on, what happened? Why is that not magnetic? There we go. We have a little bit of a trend line. Clearly that stock broke that trend line. We're somewhere into $58 right here. We're at $58 right now, so somewhere into these lows. Couple bottoms. I think the stock could go into 57 and then maybe bounce. So looking at that area over there, 57.14, we did make another low below 57 where this trend kind of started at 56.80. So you could possibly watch that. There is a little bit of a box, I want to say, instead of just this flat line. So maybe we do draw that box out somewhere like that. Okay, that works. So there is that little bit of a box. You can see how we came in and bounced off of those two bottoms, kind of made a triple bottom, quad bottom if you want to look at it. But we also have that bottom over there, and then we also have this bottom, which is a little bit lower than that range. So that whole range clearly shows you a lot of buying in the recent history. Basically most of December, the stock was bought up in all of this area. So I'll be interested to see what happens on the move down there. Not saying that we don't go below 58, but if we do go below 58, I think we could see some buying coming in around $56.50, around $57, based on how much buying has shown up previously. And then even below $56.50, you can see how we have a lot of areas where PayPal has bounced off of in these zones. So I'll be looking out for these zones to come back into play tomorrow for any reason for us to look for longs on. That looks more like another box of a range instead of a flat line. So maybe we draw that one out. So, I mean, that's a 50-cent range box. That's a crazy range. But that just shows you how much buying came in right here in November, too. So, November, December, the stock got bought up quite a bit on an earnings report also. This earnings report move was a little bit to the downside, sadly. But I will not be surprised if the stock shows up buying right into that 57 area, 56.50 area. If we do get below 56.50, then it opens up a little bit more room to the downside, at which point you could look for more longs to play off of. So looking for demand to show up into these support zones, basically. So let's put that into our notes. Looking for 57.05. Let's just say 57. I'm not going to be fancy with it. 57 to 57.34 as our first zone of support. The next one will be 56.50, and then the next one will be 55. Yeah, you know, I will say 55.30. Fine, 55.30. So we'll wait and see how these areas come into play to the downside. For the upside move, I think the stock needs to kind of push back into $60 for any of this to matter. I mean, the earnings move was clearly bearish enough for the stock to trade under 60. This is the triple top right into that $60 area. You can kind of draw that line all the way from, what is that, 60.20 to 60.39. Maybe we just draw that box. Oh, god damn it. Come on. So, I think if we do push back into this range of 60.20 to 60.50, you're kind of expecting to see resistance show up on this stock. I won't expect the stock to go higher than this, but if we are above 60.50, then it looks like there's clearly bullish power coming into the stock. The earnings report, which was bullish, is now being reflected into the stock, and the after hour move is completely being negated, and the stock is able to now trade above $60, show some buying above 60, all the way into 60.50, holding 60.50 on the bids. All of this, I think, will be very, very later on in the day if it does happen, not off the open. So be careful if the stock is into the 60.50 area right off the open. Let's go take a look at that stock on the 5-minute chart. On the after hour move, see if it came into play. Yeah, look how that 60.50 zone kind of bounced off of it. Then next bounce came again into that same range. Then we come back to the downside, kind of finding next range of buyers and see where the stock wants to play with. So I'll be looking out to see where that 60 to 60.50 zone ends up doing on PayPal, because technically you don't want to see it above 60. You don't want to see it above 60 if you're looking for shorts. That's the overall idea. Look at how the trend line kind of came into play too, right? The trend line previously, which was showing you support on the stock on a daily time frame, showed you support. Now that trend line in the after hours is actually showing you resistance right off that trend line. I don't know where that trend line is right now on the 5-minute chart, but if you go back to the 5-minute chart, you can see how that trend line is coming right into that area right there, bang, showing you resistance. Also happens to be the anchored VWAP from the earnings resistance coming into play off of that move. So PayPal, couple areas over here for us to play with. Next stock, let's keep the train moving. Let's get the ball rolling. The next stock over here, Walt Disney. Monster move on Walt Disney, back above $100. So finally back above 100. We were expecting this 100 area to come into play soon enough, but not because the stock announced a partnership with Fox and who was it? Fox and Warner Brothers Discovery, right? So we kind of knew that they were kind of gearing up for this with their earnings coming up too. Today, Disney came out with a banger earnings report, and what was a bigger catalyst was their partnerships that they have announced on this earnings report. So let's take a look at their earnings reports over here. Thank you to once again Benzinga. Go check out Benzinga if you haven't. The links are down below my description. All of these earnings reports are taken from Benzinga and then use ChatGPT. So shout out to Microsoft and shout out to OpenAI who are summarizing it for us. So the Walt Disney Company reported Q1 financial results, beating estimates but missing on revenue. So a little bit mixed report. Taylor Swift concert film, The Eras Tour, partnered with AMC Entertainment Holdings, will exclusively stream on Disney Plus from March 15th. So they're getting an exclusive rights for the Taylor Swift film for those of you Swifties who haven't seen it yet. And I'm sure she actually probably gained a lot more fans, if not fans, a lot more hatred, which will possibly make the view count go higher for this. So Disney Plus most likely will gain from that. Former Alabama football coach Nick Saban joins ESPN as an on-air commentator covering NFL draft, SEC Media Days, and contributing to the College Game Day. I don't know what SEC Media Days is, but I'm guessing that's some sort of a game football thing, not like the SEC, like the Security Commission. No, that's Securities and Exchange Commission. Yeah, isn't that SEC? Never mind. But the SEC media, I'm guessing, talking about something else. Moana 2 confirmed for theoretical. I'm fucking it up. Release on November 27th. Sorry. So another movie over there, Moana. Disney. This is the big one. Disney announced a huge $1.5 billion investment in Epic Games, the creator of basically Fortnite. I think kind of people who've been playing Fortnite have seen this already coming into play. You see a lot of Disney characters just being blasted through the Fortnite game. I recently installed Fortnite back just to play that the version that they had, which was no build version. But then you would see a lot of Marvel characters such as Daredevil, Scarlett Johansson, which is a Black Widow, Iron Man, Spider-Man, all over the game. It was kind of just blasting, it blasted and plastered all over your face when you're playing Fortnite. Kind of saw that there was a Disney partnership coming, And now it's in paper clearly in their report coming out that Disney is investing $1.5 billion in Epic Games to create more games in the Disney universe and shopping and other fun stuff in the Disney universe. So big partnership over there to make video games and join the gaming universe. Disney Plus content lineup includes more Percy Jackson and the Olympian and Bluey. I guess Bluey is like a children's cartoon. I think my niece watches that. Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I actually watched a couple shows, episodes from that. It's okay. It's not that great, nor is it that bad. It's whatever. Upcoming Disney series Frozen 3, Zootopia, more random stuff over there about their series. Disney raises annual dividend and announces $3 billion share buyback. So big share buyback coming in. Disney CEO Bob Iger, joint venture with Warner Brothers. That's the one we talked about already with the ESPN. Iger addresses concerns about cannibalization and emphasizes being a disruptor rather than being disrupted. I don't know what that means, but okay. Disney shares trade 7% higher after trading at 105.96. What is this? Cannibalization like weed, and emphasizes being a disruptor rather than being disrupted. He's basically talking about weed being a disruptor for Disney, or he's just anti-weed. What's your problem, dude? Either way, Disney taking that catalyst from the earnings move and taking out some of the major resistance areas that we were watching out for on the daily chart. So now the stock's at like 105 something. It's somewhere in between these two peaks, these two mountains that we made not too long ago in the end of last year. End of 2020 and the beginning of last year, sorry. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on the move into 118 and the move into 110 or so, or on the move back down into 100. 100 being that key important area that everyone was most likely watching out for. If Disney would take out that area, you're looking for the stock to show buying anywhere above 100. Currently, I'm expecting, if the stock doesn't show me buying in this purple range that I have drawn out, which is right around, what's that, April, March, end of March to the beginning of May high. End of March 2023 to the beginning of May 2023, highs over there. If the stock does pull back into that range, I would expect that range to show me some buying. So basically 102 to 102.50, show me some good buying into that range on any sort of a pullback. But currently, as you guys can see, the earnings anchored VWAP is at 105. Technically, you don't even want to see the stock below 105. You want to see our Disney position over here trading above the earnings anchored VWAP, trading below 108 hopefully, and then that sets up for a beautiful breakout to the upside or a beautiful breakdown to the downside, at which point you can look for a nice move into 102.50s and then flip long if buying does show up. And if it doesn't, then you probably just hold that shorts a little bit longer if you have the ability to get short. But watch out for that 105 area, as the earnings anchored VWAP is exactly at that price. So let me quickly put down 105 earnings VWAP. Okay, and then the next one below that is a 102 to 102.50. We do have a line at this 104, 103.91, but 104, it's basically that little peak high above the purple range. So it's something to maybe keep an eye out for. Disney could open, come down, tick off that 104 and run up, or come down, tick off that 102.50 and run up, just to keep an eye out for these areas, because we have seen the stock clearly trade here not too long ago. So I have it mapped out, just not going to put it into my notes because I don't think that level's that important compared to how we traded in that purple box in the recent history. Now, if we go back to the 60-minute chart, which is the hourly chart, kind of zoom out over here and see what previous history looked like on the stock in the higher end of these ranges. So I want to study this range and I want to study this range. So let's go into this range over here and kind of put in some of our markers. We have a line over here. You have a line over here. This is more of a box though, because I mean this comes from the same range in my opinion. So we'll draw that box out, but that's a wide box and that's why I don't like that box that much. But it's from the same range. So you know, I'll kind of keep an eye out for that range. The next one, see, we did consolidate in that range a little bit and then broke out, but then there's this little peak over here. You know what, we'll just separate that peak by itself, we'll separate this peak by itself, and then we'll separate this peak by itself. We did have a little bit of a solid consolidation over here for a couple of days. I'll put a line over there to kind of see what happens if we do pop up into that. And now we have all our levels to kind of keep an eye out for. I think there's a solid resistance into 107.50 to 109 area. That's a pretty wide range. I know that's a wide range on the stock, but if we do push up into this 107.50 tomorrow, I think we could look for some sort of a stalling out action coming in. I don't think we see anything more than that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that surprise? Supplies. That actually ends up being the exact high in the after hours. That ends up being the exact high in the after hours. So I think there will be a little bit of overhead supply coming into this area of 107.50 to 109. You want to be careful for the stock to see what happens. It could easily tick above that and also go to this 110.55 ranges, but I think anything above that is you're just looking to short. You're just looking to short anything above that. I don't think we see much more than that tomorrow. On a longer time frame, maybe like, you know, on a 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, maybe we start going higher and higher. But as a day trade tomorrow, 107.50 to 108 to 109 is a range that I'll possibly looking for some exhaustions to come in and possible shorts to kind of build into the stock in Disney. However, that catalyst that they have invested money in Epic Games, that allows them to kind of open up gaming as their portfolio now, because Disney already owns like a lot of companies, right? I don't think they actually own a game dev company. This is not that they don't own Epic Games this way, because Epic Games is like a big valuated company from Fortnite's days. I also think they've raised a ton of money from companies like Tencent and other companies out there. So Disney investing 1.5 billion, I don't think they're actually buying out Fortnite, but this allows them to be invested in them. So keeping an eye out to see what Disney's doing. Tark is up 1.86%, says Lucas. Yeah, but Pal World is up more, dude. Pal World is up 7.9%, 6.69%. So you should get it. Get Pal World. Now I'm down to play Tark today if you are. Probably after the stream, but the stream might take a little bit longer today. The stream might take a little bit longer because I have a lot of stocks on my watch list. But thankfully, I'll be able to play a little bit later because I don't have to go to work. So we'll be able to run it up if you're down. Now, let's continue about Disney over here, putting my notes for the area of interest for me. As you can see, the after hour high tick came in at that 107.75. I'm going to stick to my range, 107.50 to 109. I'm going to look for exhaustions to come into that whole range of 107.50 to 109. And above 107.50 to 109, I have, what was that range again? Above 107.50 to 109, I had that 110.55. So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow to come into play on Disney. Next stock on board, we have ARM. ARM was a recent IPO, dropped down after the IPO, went to the $50 or so, and now coming into the beautiful all-time high area, triple top coming in, a little bit of a head and shoulders too, if you want to call it. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Technically, according to that, it should flush to the downside, but when you have catalysts such as earnings coming into play, that will completely negate such theses, as the stock now goes into $100 for the first time ever in its life. So shout out to ARM. You know, anything above yesterday's high basically is new territories. We have no idea what the stock can do in these new prices. This is actually a lot of fun for tomorrow. It's also fun because the stock is is an all-time high, along with the overall market. QQQ breaking out to new all-time highs, taking this stock to new all-time highs. ARM is a very big important component for semiconductors, for stocks like Nvidia, AI, Palantir, and all that, because they facilitate, I think, what, 90% of chips to the world. I think the number might be a little boosted, what I'm saying, but it's a pretty big percentage that they provide for semiconductors industry. So ARM, obviously using that catalyst with their positive earnings report. Let's actually go take a look at what we have over here from ARM. ARM Holdings reported better, blah, 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 reported 29 cents per share, beating the estimate of 25 cents per share. Coming in at 824 million, estimates are 761 million, so that was an 8% beat. Royalty 470 million, up 11% year over year. What the hell is royalty? Driven by the semiconductor industry recovery and increased penetration of the ARM V9 based chips. Licensed revenue 354 million, up 18%. Adjusted gross margin was 96.7%, up 40 beeps, so basically basis per points year over year. CEO highlighted record revenues driven by widespread adoption of ARM compute platform and growth in cloud servers and automotive markets. Q4 revenues expected between 28 and 32 cents compared to the estimates of 21, so well above the estimates. Q4 revenue projected to be 850 to 900 compared to the estimates of 780, well above the estimates. You are most likely coming in with another SMCI type of move over here tomorrow on ARM, so watch out for this one, especially with Nvidia taking out the new all-time high today. Nvidia making a new all-time high, going into what, $702, $709, sorry, forgive me, 709 in the after hours. So clearly, I think that was actually because of ARM. This looks like it was because of ARM. But yeah, Nvidia, ARM, AMD, all these stocks booming up to the north side. ARM with the banger earnings report. Let's continue with the earnings report. Fiscal year 2024, 120 to 124 compared to estimate. They're just beating all estimates all across the board. Basically what SMCI did. So shout out to these guys. Coming in for a full year, also above estimates for the full year. Stock up 20% at 92.40 at the time of the report. Yeah, it's pretty much at 92 right now, with a high of $108, $109. So like I mentioned earlier, the stock has a lot of new levels. Everything above this is above what, $80 is basically all-time high now, new all-time highs. So the only level of support that I want to see at this point, if it does pull all the way back, is that $80. But trust me, if the stock is back all the way at 80 with the kind of report that we're seeing, then you're asking yourself, what the hell is going on, right? You wanna maybe question that move and not even think about looking for a long at that point, because it could be a little bit of a reversal, profit taking, whatever it is. Whoever was probably under the boat previously on IPO time, yeah, maybe not, because they probably took profits or got out and maybe got back in. Yeah, you'd be an idiot to take profits right now. The stock, if it reverses to 80, something's wrong. That's all I'm going to say. If it reverses to 80, something's wrong. Our first base support, in my opinion, will be somewhere at $90, or even where the after hour low was, around this $92. So you basically don't want to see the stock below $92. If it's under 92, then maybe you can wait around 80 to see if buying can show up over there, which was the previous all-time high. Resistances, we have a little bit of a resistance right around the earnings anchored VWAP, which is 97.50. Earnings VWAP. Above that, we have a little bit of a turnaround on the 5-minute chart here around 102. And then above that, we have that clear turnaround around 109. But honestly, I think the stock will do something like SMCI did tomorrow. Its ATR is 348, but I think this one will do way more than that in an ATR move. So watch out for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye out for ARM. ARM will be the most in-play stock tomorrow, in my opinion. I probably won't even have to do any more watch lists after ARM, because I think that's the only stock everyone needs to focus on, period. Prad, what's the bare minimum volume does a stock have to do in order for you to trade it? On a 5-day average, it needs to do at least 1 million shares. If the stock is not doing at least 1 million shares on a 5-day average, basically in a week, then it's not in play for me. It's just not worth for me as a day trade. That means I cannot take, like, you know, a good amount of size to make the profits and get out without hurting the stock or moving the price or whatever the concept is over there, right? You want to be able to trade stocks that are scalable, even if you're trading stocks with only what, 1 share, 2 share, 3 shares, based on whatever platform you're trading. My platform is minimum 10 shares. You want to be able to trade stocks that you can get into your size without a problem at a good price, and also get out of your stock and profit at a good price, or if it's going against you, get out of that stock at a good price without it hurting you too much, right? So for that, liquidity is a very important thing. How much a stock is moving in a day is very important for me, and if it's not able to do even at least 1 million shares in a week scale, then I just kind of doesn't even fit my radar for my scans. So that's a pre-scan parameter for all my scanners, to have 1 million shares in at least 5 days. Anything more than that, then it's a little bit bonus. Then another scan above that, or another parameter to the scans, are relative volume, along with doing 1 million shares on a 5-day scale. Are you doing at least a relative volume of 3 or more? Are you doing at least 300,000 shares today? If your average shares is only 1 million and you're already doing 300,000 shares off the open, and my scanner scanning you, that means you're very much in play, because the stock, it's only been what, maybe an hour into the open, and you already brought in 30% of your day's volume in a 1 hour. Clearly you're in play. Something's going on with you, so I'll take a look at you. So a little bit of an idea over there as to how I scan for stocks and whatnot. But when you have earnings season, you kind of don't have to worry about all that. You just have to worry about you know, what stock is moving off of earnings. Are they moving in the positive direction? Is there a trend that you can follow? If so, wait for the pullbacks, follow the trend. If you want to short stocks, look for stocks that are selling off. Look for the pullbacks, short the pullbacks, and join the trend. That's all you kind of have to do at the end of the day. Now, let's keep the train rolling over here and go to Wynn Resorts. Wynn coming out with their earnings report, popping up into nice little 105.67 area. Let's go to the 60-minute chart, or the 1 hour chart, as most people call it. I don't know why I call it a 60-minute chart. Oh, wow. One's very, very choppy, huh? It's a pretty choppy range over here. I don't even think I want to trade this tomorrow. What does a daily look like? I mean, there is some possibility to the north side, but the stock looks like it gets smashed every time it pushes up, sadly. I mean, look at the past few earnings report. There is a little bit of a move to the north side, but if you're thinking about it on a swing idea, there's a lot of levels here to kind of deal with on the way up. Go back to the 5-minute chart. Turn on our extended trading hours. So we did get above this 102, and we held 102 as a support a little bit. Very light on volume in the after hours, sorry. I'll be interested to see how the stock moves in pre-market. I think the most important stocks so far right now for us for tomorrow are ARM, Disney, and PayPal, in that order. Wynn doesn't really make the cut for me tomorrow. Doesn't really make the cut. So we're gonna move past Win. Let's go see what Mattel looks like. This one also probably in that same realm. Doesn't really make the cut right now. We do have some levels over here to kind of play with on Mattel. You can see that daily level into that $20 area. Mattel was expected to flush to the downside on the earnings report, but they actually popped up. Let's go see Mattel's report over here. They were missing on what? On EPS. Okay, missing on EPS. Yeah, dropped on EPS. Fell short on revenue. Reported sales. The reported sales reflect a 15% increase compared to the same period last year. Okay. Earnings were estimates missed. Okay, yeah, missed. Revenue increased in the past quarter. Metal B resulting in a 7% drop in the share price the next day. Damn. Okay, so Mattel basically could flush big time tomorrow, is what this statement is saying. Past for Mattel was generated by Bazinga. Okay, anyways, moving on. So Mattel basically negative earnings report. They still popped up in the after hours, but I am wow, look at that. It's perfect rejection of that price over there of $20. So expecting that $20 rejection to come in. If for any reason we pop here into 20, looking for a sell-off on that Mattel. I think tomorrow though we will see the stock in pre-market itself opening below 1835. At that point, maybe giving you some trade to the downside. Maybe you can look for some shorts. It just doesn't look that exciting to me. And the next stock for us in the earnings board for today after hours and tomorrow pre-market is Philip Morris. So Uncle Philip Morris, the reason why I call it Uncle is because it's an absolute boomer of a stock. How long has the stock been on the market? I guess it's not that boomer. Yeah, only 2008. Not that boomer, but Philip Morris makes cigarettes. They've existed in the worlds for enormous amount of time. Everyone knows them. But let's see how their move comes out in pre-market. They have about an ATR of $1.35. Their earnings call is at 9 a.m. tomorrow, so be careful for that one. It's a little bit too close to the open. There's a good chance the earning call goes all the way into 10 o'clock or so, and that could help move the stock a little bit more, and you could get caught offside if you're not on the right side of the trade, so be very, very, very careful for that one. Pradamesh Shakiraji, you have been deactivated. Thank you for your service. What the hell is Soy Sweeper? Okay, thank you for deactivating me. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And Philip Morris over here, almost called it Nvidia because I just saw Nvidia on a glance. Philip Morris over here getting absolutely pummeled to the downside will give us some maybe trade opportunities. Maybe to the upside will also give us some shorting opportunities. It's in the same basket though as Mattel and Win for me. Look at the daily chart. It's just a big pizza slice pattern being formed, a big wedge being formed. So not too excited until kind of that longer term pattern breaks out. Maybe this is called a pennant, right? This is probably called a pennant because the line doesn't come exactly from here, so it's not a symmetrical triangle. It's a pennant. It's called the penny pad. It's called the fucking penny pad. Yeah, whatever. So maybe we see a break of this pennant coming in anytime soon eventually, especially after this earnings report. Maybe that will give us a little bit of an extension to the north side. But as I told you guys before, that the flat lines are more important than the trend lines for me, because flat lines actually show you where resistances and supports are, and we got quite a bit of flat lines. One over there, one over there, one over there, another one up here all the way to the north side. And like I said earlier, Philip Morris belongs in the same trash basket of stocks for me as Win and Mattel for tomorrow. I think ARM and Disney and PayPal are the only three stocks that we need to take a look at. But let's not be ignorant and forget to take a look at Palantir, because Palantir will be one of those another beautiful stocks that we kind of have to take a watch for. Palantir, another 52-week high, another one. posting another new 52-week high at $24, taking out the yesterday's high, I guess, or even the previous 52-week high at 21.85 cleanly this time. Something that they could not do yesterday at the close. Yesterday at the close, we tried to take out that 22 area, but then we dip right back under 22. But today off the open, cleanly wiped that area to the north side and pushed into this $24. So monster move on Palantir. But now the question is, what happens on Palantir as a day two? Oh wow, that's actually pretty, not really. It didn't really come and hold that. Now the question is, what does Palantir do for tomorrow? This move is a little bit of an overextended move, if you ask me. I'm not saying we're gonna sell off on Palantir, right? Palantir still bringing in monster volume, 250 million shares. That's great. Not anywhere close to 450 that it brought in yesterday, though. I think 420 yesterday, 421 to be exact. But 254 million, 255 million shares over here on Palantir today. Very close to that $24 too. Possibility that we get that $24 breakout and an extension to the north side, but pre-market will be important, especially if market takes out all-time highs again tomorrow with the help of ARM, which helps Nvidia, which helps the market, which helps AMD. I'm just making up a theory, right? Just making up a theory. Because if Nvidia starts going, the market could start going too. And boy, oh boy, Apple. If you guys haven't seen some of these videos about the Apple Vision Pro, Casey Neistat just posted a video recently, and I watched it today right before the stream. That Apple Vision Pro is a thing of beauty, my boy. Thing of beauty. It absolutely changing the way computers are gonna work very, very soon. You're not gonna have phones anymore. You're just gonna walk around with the goddamn helmet on your head. It is absolutely wonderful, the time period we're in. Hello? Unknown number just called me and hung up on me. That's awesome. Thank you. Probably a number from China, let's be real. Probably a number, Chinese number. But okay, Palantir tomorrow pre-market will be pretty important. It will also be important to see what the market's doing in the morning. Is the market gapping up, gapping down? Are we getting more buyers to kind of pile in? The way the market moved up today, I think we're gonna see more buyers actually coming in. So I'm pretty bullish for the overall market. I think a lot of new investors are getting ready to invest in Apple because of that new product. That new product, I'm telling you, is a game changer. It is a game changer. Absolute game changer. It's going to make phones obsolete. It's going to make laptops obsolete. It's going to make desktops obsolete. It's going to make TVs obsolete. I just don't know. I don't know what to say. It's going to change the way we do a lot of things. You're gonna have a family full of people sitting in a room with a headset, all of them having their own personal TV on the same wall. Like it's shit's changing. This is wild. This is wild. He finally got one. Kramer finally got something right. Oh, okay. Shout out to Kramer. Yeah, I mean, Palantir bubble's not over yet. I guess that's what you're talking about, that he got one about Palantir. Shout out to Kramer. Woo! He also called Tesla bottoming out. I think he's right about that one, because ever since then, Tesla didn't really go too much lower. So, yeah, he might have called the Tesla bottom too, for all we know. Shout out to Kramer. Old boy Kramer. But, yeah. Palantir, guys, don't leave the stock PLTR. Don't forget the stock tomorrow. Very, very important. Kind of important to see what this 24 area does. I think tomorrow we could see a fail break of 24, come back, giving us a short opportunity all the way back into this 22 area, at which point you could flip for a long. So those are the only two areas that I'm basically watching for the stock tomorrow. Anything above 24, where the hell is my Palantir stock? There it is. Palantir color orange. Levels I'm watching for support 22, resistance 24. Basically, you're waiting to see what happens at 24. If we break 24, get above it, show buying above 24, good longs can be built into that area. But if we're getting above 24 and just showing us rejections into 24, then you're looking for a nice little short back through 24, maybe back into today's VWAP somewhere around $23 or below 23, back into $22.50, back into $22. Basically, you don't want to see 22. You want to see 23 getting held, or even 22.50 getting held. But if it's all the way back to 22, it's like, oh my god, not this game again, Palantir. But if 22 gets respected, then I'll be a little happy. I'll be a little happy. If Aunt Kathy calls, hang up. Oh hell no, I'm picking up if Aunt Kathy calls. Have you seen what Aunt Kathy looks like when she was young? Give me a time machine. What a babe. What an absolute babe. Kidding me? That looks like AI. That looks AI the fudged out. Yeah, that looks like AI like crazy. But the other picture was her. This one is her, I think. Why is it open in Reddit? You're fake, Diego. Let me live my fantasy. You're fake. God damn it. Alright, anyways, we got a party pooper here. Let's move on. Let's go back to the goddamn stupid stock market, which is also very fake. Let's go talk about Baba. Baba actually flushed after initially making a pop in the pre-market on the earnings report. A little bit of a negative earnings report, or sorry, a flat earnings report. It popped up on the initial report and then sold right off to the downside. So just doing its normal shenanigans, going back into these boring ranges, at which point it doesn't really get me too excited. There could be some supports that could easily come back into this position. So I'm just gonna leave Baba alone in the side until we really get under like what, $70. I'm not really too excited for the shorts, because we could see buying come in this position very easily. If we can get under 70, then there is some beautiful room into the $66, $66.50 area. But if we're not solidly pure, like easily under 70 on Baba, then I'm not really too worried about looking for a short on the stock. Anything above 70 is still pretty bullish for me, because I've seen this stock randomly show up buying all of a sudden. So be careful on Baba. That could be an area of fight for you guys if you're looking for shorts down through. Uber with another all-time high. So this stock is a little bit exciting, because once again, the market's at all-time high. Any of these positions taking out the highs over here gets us a little excited. Uber with the earnings report today, pre-market, kind of just in yesterday's range. Sadly, didn't really do too much of the earnings report. That's when the report, it's a little bit boring. That's when the moves are usually a little bit boring. It is an overall bullish move. I think the market being bullish today helped out Uber being bullish, so that was helpful. You can see how the after hour move was very whipsaw action. You got the move to the upside, you got the move to the downside. Overall, we did basically stay in yesterday's range, respected yesterday's range, and kind of stuck in it. So you're looking to see what happens now at the new all-time high of $72, somewhere in the midpoint of this range, which is exactly where the anchor VWAP is for today, or the earnings anchor VWAP is around $70, and the low over here around what, 67.60? No, what's today's low? Today's low was, I guess, 67.20. 67.20 as the low area to keep an eye out for. This consolidation, in my opinion, matters. That consolidation in the pre-market it matters a lot, in my opinion. So 68.50 is a level to watch out for. Something that I will throw out there: if the first day move off the earnings isn't really like a banger, clean, awesome move, banger, clean, awesome move, it's usually not that the next day, right? Unless the market is ripping off tomorrow, Uber, which is at all-time high, added to the S&P 500 index. We talked about how a negative earnings report on Uber could have really hurt it, because you don't want to see a stock which recently got added to the index coming out with the negative earnings report. So it is a bullish report that they came out with the bullish report. But you know, the move that came into the market wasn't really that much overall, especially when the QQQ took out the all-time high. So I'm kind of questioning today's move. I'll be going into tomorrow with the question. I won't be really you know, too excited for it. Only a quarter of a percent move to the upside from yesterday's close after earnings doesn't really to get me too excited to look for a day 2 type of trade on Uber, but it will be on the radar. We'll see what happens on Uber tomorrow. CVS, another stock that announced earnings today pre-market, moved up a little bit higher than yesterday's range. You can see how basically came into a little bit of yesterday's high, not really all the way into yesterday's high, but a little bit into yesterday's high, showing you support and kind of holding there. Basically, you want to see 75 getting held. If 75 doesn't show support on CVS, then things could get messy very easily, and we could start playing soccer to the downside. See what I did there? Messy soccer. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. So you're looking for that $75 support on CVS over here. Watch out what happens. But this is one of those boring stocks in my opinion. Not really too excited to trade CVS. All fun tomorrow will be ARM, Palantir, maybe a little bit of Disney, maybe a little bit of PayPal. But ARM and Palantir will be my two most attentive stocks, most kept on watch stocks. The stocks that I'll keep my eyes on, glued to, will be those two. Roblox will be something to maybe keep an eye out for too. Roblox got a little bit of a solid resistance around this $48 area. Today we kind of pushed it a little bit into that range, not really true into 48. We're still dealing with this 50, is that 52-week high? No, not really. 52-week high is at 47.65. Today's 46.60. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Roblox clearly has a lot of issues around this 47 to 48, and above 47 to 48, we got a lot of issues at 53. So watch out what Roblox does to the north side tomorrow. Will be pretty interesting to see if you know, how the stock sets up. Can we have some fun above this recent high of 47? If we do get above 47, I think there's still more resistances for Roblox to walk into. Monster moves though, 10% move, and that's exactly what you want to see after an earnings report. Not a quarter percent move after an earnings report. That's very boring. You want to see 10% movers, and that's why Roblox gets bumped up on the importance for tomorrow. It did move around a little bit. That range, intraday range after the earnings report, was quite wide. It gave you a monster flush right into the opening range low, bounced off the opening range low and moved back up. So maybe some sort of a day 2 trade that could pop up, especially off of this 44 area. I'm guessing if there is a 44 buyer coming into play, maybe we could get a move into 47. But I'm expecting Roblox to have an inside day based on how wide of a candle we had today on the intraday range. I think tomorrow will be very easily an inside day. Look at the way the candle looks too on the daily, right? Very indecisive. So I think we need to first find out where the buyers are. Are they near today's low, which is around a very good support? So are they around 43, 44 area, and are they able to, not able to, but are they willing to fight for that price? Are they willing to go against the sellers and the profit takers and be more bullish? So you want to see that support area 43 and that 44 area get bought up on Roblox tomorrow. Let me put, where's Roblox? Roblox, there you are. 43 to 44. My support area, my resistance is basically from today's high to that recent high, so 46.60 to 47.20. Watching that area as resistance, and then anything above that, kind of, you're looking at 48, and then above that is 53. But I think if the stock can clear 47.20 tomorrow for some reason, maybe we go into 50 easily. That's 47.60. I'm just gonna put 46.60 to 47.20 to 47.60, which is pretty weird. You know, putting notes like that, odd notes. You know what? I got a perfect solution. I got the perfect solution. There we go. Now I won't be confused for tomorrow. And this will also allow me to make my notes a little bit better. So first area of resistance, 46.60, which is yesterday's high. Oh, come on, Prad. Come on, Prad. And then we got 47.20 to 47.67. Bang. So anything above that is a bonus move into 53, basically. 53. So watching for that one over there on Roblox. That one actually goes up in my importance scale a little bit to the north side. So watching Roblox to see what happens tomorrow. A couple other stocks we have over here. Most of them are pretty boring to me. A couple of them being ENPH. ENPH, you know, did pop up. Their CEO is talking a lot about bullish catalysts. He's saying that, you know, interest rates going down. Solar companies should go higher. Their valuation should go higher at least. Nice little 17% bump up today, even after a mixed report. We kind of talked about this one. Let's go see how they're moved in our lines. Let's go see if our lines came into play at all. And look at that. Nice little, ignore this bottom white line because that's today's low. I put that one today. But you can see how we kind of basically pinpointed a couple areas. A nice little box that we kind of pinpointed. We pinpointed damn near the high on this stock. So that's basically just looking at the daily chart, the hourly chart, and just looking at previous levels of interest on the stock and trading off of this. It's not any more rocket science from that. A couple other examples. Let's go take a look at Ford. Ford probably paid well within our boxes over here. Look at that, beautifully within our ranges that we have drawn out, and actually resisted exactly off of that 1270 at 80 area that we had drawn out yesterday. What's that bigger purple box? When did I draw that one? Oh, that's coming from like way back. I didn't think I drew that one yesterday. Where did all these lines come back from? I thought I deleted all these lines. Roblox had some extra lines too. I'm pretty sure I deleted all of these lines. That's weird. That's scary. But yeah, there you go. Basically pinpointed the highs off the open. Pinpointed the high off the open in that purple box. I think we put these in our notes yesterday too, right? Let me go show you the Ford notes for yesterday. Did I even put notes for Ford yesterday? I might have skipped past that, to be honest. Oh no, I did. Resistance 13 to 13.13 never really came into play. Possible support 1280 to 1270, and that actually ended up being resistance. 1280 to 1270 ends up being a resistance, and the stock just flushes to the downside. And yeah, that's part of the reason why I like making my reports pre-market, or revamping my reports pre-market based on some of the stocks that report or move around in pre-market. They give you some complete random new levels to play with, and as you saw, that level getting cleaned out, pushing to the downside. Ford. Eventually got bought right back up though. Monster long. Actually, I think I got a picture to show about Ford here. Ford, there you go. Oh, this one's pretty shit though. Ford did show up on our scanner today for a long, but I guess if you had drawn the trend line, let's see. I guess if you had drawn the trend line, it plays within our rules. It plays within our rules. It also does a lot of things that we like that it does. Look at that. It plays very well within our rules. So had you drawn the trend line, it breaks the trend line, pulls back, makes a higher low, also holds yesterday's VWAP, right? Also holds yesterday's VWAP. Yes, it's rejecting today's anchored VWAP for sure. It's rejecting the anchored VWAP, whatever. But it's holding yesterday's VWAP, showing you that whoever bought yesterday is still being active and buying again, bounce right off of that into that move, giving you a beautiful long somewhere right here. Bella scalp. That's a pretty good trade. I mean, we got alerted the stock when? At 950. 950, somewhere on that candle, right? You got alerted on that trade around 950 on that candle. You put down the trend line. You wait for the break of the trend line. You wait for the pullback. Like I said, move 1, move 2, move 3. On the move 4 is where you enter your trade. So move 1, move 2, move 3, move 4. You enter your trade somewhere in this area. You put your soft stop under this low, a hard stop under the day's low. So let's say you get long somewhere at 1230, right? 1230, you're long. You have a soft stop 6 cents below your entry. Let's say 7 cents, because 2 cents below is what Bella Scalp talks about, right? So, you know what? I'm just going to go with this one. Let's say 2 cents below the day's low, which is 12.18. So your stop is 12 cents. 12 cents with a little bit of slippage, 15 cents. Now, let's talk about profits. Your first leg of profit somewhere over here at 2R, so 30 cents. Your first leg of profit, 2R. Your 3R, 4R. I'm just making shit up at this point. How much R is this? Let's go see how much R this is. I mean, at the end, you basically get 5.5 risk to reward. I guess I was making shit up, but it was still right. So that's actually amazing, right? It followed everything that we needed it to do. Popped up on the radar, made a higher low from yesterday's high. That's exactly what we want to see it. Usually you don't want to see it completely gap closed. Leave a little bit of gap. Show me that buyers are still interested. Thankfully, that gap close came in exactly around yesterday's VWAP. That's pretty bullish. Broke the trend line, came back, found buyers again, and moved right back up. Now tomorrow, if 13 comes into play, I think there's some fun to be had on this stock, but I think this one just ranges between 1250 and 13, to be honest. So Dieter, if you're watching, I mean, we probably be watching these scans more. Couple other scans that popped up today. Let's go talk about this one. SEDG. I actually took this long. I broke my rules a little bit. Part of that reason is because I'm currently paper trading, because I'm trading from home. I told you guys this all yesterday. I have to paper trade for a little while for the next 2 weeks as I take care of my dog, because I won't really have the ability to have a proper stable connection to my work office properly and trade with the real money. But that at least keeps me in the system, still keeps me in the rhythm of trading and everything. So SEDG, I kind of took this trade a little bit hastily today. Just kind of, I was like, whatever. But that's bad. You should always treat paper money as real money too. I kind of just got in whatever on the break of that trend line right there. I think it did go a little bit against me, but later on it was just straight printing, money printing, press to the north side. So shout out to me on that one. But you know, my trend line was, I was just confused as to where to draw the trend line. The stock was just absolutely dropping to the north to south side, sorry, and I don't know where to draw the trend line. I guess at that point I could have done somewhere here. Nah, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, but that kind of makes sense. We kind of dropped down over here into a level that we were previously watching out for. A little bit of buying in front of that level, and then rejects off the 9 EMA again, so you can kind of put in that line right there. It breaks the trend, but then doesn't really do what we wanted to do, that which is makes a move 2 and a move 3. Instead, it consolidates into this area of $72, something that I kind of haven't really seen yet. This is not really in my patterns of seeing in the setup, right? But it makes sense, logically makes sense. We are seeing that higher low after gap up coming in, right? Higher low above the yesterday's high move. Why is yesterday's high here? Well, that's right, SEDG wasn't in my radar for today's watch list. That's why it's the higher high. Okay, so anyways, yesterday's high right over here at 68.50. we actually make a high of $72 after gapping up. Bullish, very, very bullish. Buyers are coming in. Sellers are trying to stuff this stock to the downside. Every time we do that, buyers keep buying it back up. So somewhere around right here on the cross of the 9 EMA, probably you could enter with the stop at the low a day over there and have a monster move to the north side. Instead, I got in somewhere here. I had a little bit of a move against me. I didn't really care about that move against me too much. I didn't have too much size anyways, because I'm testing the strategy. I'm kind of playing with it and I'm trying stuff out. So I got in. It did go against me, didn't care, and then eventually started moving up for me, and then I did care and I got out too early. That's something that also I notice in my trading itself, which is you know, when the stock is working for me, I care about it too much, and when the stock is I guess when it's not working for me, I kind of care about it too much too. But I need to be careful about taking profits way too quickly. It's just a big struggle that I have all the time. But SCDG popped up on the scanner. I actually had the long, paid out for me. Yeah, woohoo! And STLA was another one that popped up on the scanner. This one, I broke the rules and I paid the price for it. Had I not broken the rules for this one, I would not have paid the price for it, because eventually it does make the move that I was looking for. Let me kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. Maybe put it in somewhere here. There you go. So STLA, a little bit of a weird one. It breaks much later in the day than I want to. It also creates that same pattern that we want to see, which is first, after gapping up and pulling back, can you make a higher low than yesterday's high? Check mark. It does that. Now, after doing that, break of the trend line, check mark. Then make a little bit of a aggression to the north side, which you see volume coming in later on and pushing it higher, breaking the 9 EMA. This one, not really the most cleanest setup, and the reason why is because on the way down, the size of the bars are increasing, the volume's increasing too. So not the right setup you want to see on this position. Show you an example for Ford. Ford actually was also not the best, but you can see on the second time around on the way down over there, the volume wasn't increasing. So volume on the way down was decreasing compared to the first time where volume on the way down was increasing. Also not what you want to see over there. What did SCDG look like? SCDG is kind of what you want to see. You want to see volume on the way down decreasing and the size of the candles also decreasing, exactly what you want to see. And that's why it kind of worked better. It was just a one-shot breakthrough and a one-shot reversal, not what like Ford did, which is, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Ford wiggled around a little bit, played around a little bit. So those were basically the trades I was looking for today. Thanks to my scanner that I built out recently. I still don't know what to call it. It's called the TraderPrad version, but it's not really Scalp. I guess the entry is a little bit based on Scalp. You're going counter trend, but I'm using that idea to scan for stocks that gapped up and show me strength after dipping down, after gapping up, so I can buy the not the initial move, but the real move, which I believe is always the hedge fund move, right? The initial move is the retail move, the later move is the hedge fund move. I want to be involved in the hedge fund move. That's what the move I want to be involved in. So yeah, Ford over there today, pretty clean. Any stocks that I'm forgetting from my watch list? Oh yeah, how can we forget HOLO? Hollow. What a monster move on Hollow today. We actually were talking about this on our Discord call. If you were in the Discord call, you probably saw us get excited for this 550 break. 550 break happened. Monster move into $10. A little bit of a stalling out into $10 where the stock broke down and looked like it was making a little bit of a trend over here to the downside, making a pennant, eventually breaking the pennant and then respecting the trend line one more time, and then charging to the north side. Here's something that makes me think that whoever was in charge of the stock throughout the day kind of went back to being in power later on, because you can see how that trend line basically came back into play later on, right? shorts getting blown out and that trend line basically coming back into play later on over here. So I think, you know, whoever was in charge throughout the day today basically being in charge later on, blowing out all these shorts. The stock is now making a high after hours at $51. The stock has had previous highs around 113. Beautiful consolidation at 113. Let me show it to you on the daily chart right here. Nice little consolidation from $90 to $113. So let's see if we can get above there. Let me maybe throw in a box instead. So we got a nice little range over here from 111.69 to 113, and a beautiful box of hold over here, somewhere of this whole range. So possibly to see what happens in this $88 to 103. Not something to make a decision in my opinion unless you see a clear pattern in this range, but that range could show you a quick tick and sell off, and that could be this area that you're looking for some shorts probably to get into. However, short in the stock clearly as showed you can be pretty bad, so be careful. This stock is now the new DWAC apparently. So going into $50 in the pre-market, sorry, after hours, going into $50 in the after hours, closing around what do we close at? $25? That's it? Oh, not sad. Closing at $25 here in the after hours. Will be interesting to see if $50, $45, whatever these dumb high numbers come into play or not. So be careful for HOLO tomorrow. And in terms of QQQ, S&P 500, which are at the all-time highs. IWM, sadly, nowhere close to all-time highs. Still in actually red on the day. Not sure what to expect from IWM, but let's pray for IWM. Moment of silence and some prayers for IWM over here, because IWM can't seem to help itself. But forget IWM. Let's just go talk about the more fun stuff such as QQQ and S&P 500, which are just ripping up to the north side every single day. Tesla, I think Tesla had a green day today. Yeah, Tesla had a pretty good green day today, 1.34% to the north side. Nvidia breaking out to the all-time high, making a little bit more of an all-time high with the help of ARM. I think tomorrow Nvidia will be making another new all-time high. Nvidia recently got upgraded to $800. $700 is a pretty damn important level on Nvidia. So if we do get pullbacks to $700 and get bought back up, you want to be involved in that party. So join that party. Don't miss out on the train. Looks like a nice little double top coming in over here in the after hours of this day, on the day that we actually broke 700 in the pre-market. Yeah, that's the day we broke 700 in pre-market and kind of struggled at that high. And notice how that exact same high came back into play here in the after hours today. So that looks like a level of breakout for me if Nvidia is punching through that you don't want to miss out. 709.50, 709, let's just say 710. If we're punching through that and Nvidia is just charging through, I think you don't want to miss that out. But there could also be a solid seller around that area, kind of stuffing the stock down, taking profit. So be careful to see what happens. 700 to 710 for a stock whose ATR was usually $10, whose now ATR is $20 because of obviously the price went from $400 to $700 in the span of a few months, right? Span a few months. So their ATR going up with it. $20 ATR. Now we're watching half of that ATR to see what happens in that range, 700 to 710. If we do break out of 710 and the market's breaking out of all-time high and ARM's breaking out of all-time high, ARM's already at all-time high. I mean, there's so much stuff that could happen, and boy oh boy, it's making me so upset being at home instead of going into the market and trading these stocks. Market's so hot right now, dude. Market is so hot. Maybe I just open up my own account at home a little bit and trade with just a way smaller size. Because this is hot diggity hot, boy. Hot diggity hot. Look at Nvidia. Gotta love it though. You gotta love it, TH. Prad, what the fuck with Ford, goes down to ATR and then goes up to ATR. Couldn't capitalize on it because I didn't know, expect it would make a move like that. Use full size to be green on it. I mean, yeah, you're green on it. That's all that matters. We just talked about Ford just a second ago. I mean, it's It popped up on my scanner. If you were using anchored VWAPs, you would see that it actually bounced perfectly off of yesterday's anchored VWAP and just ripped right back into today's high, basically. Well, not exactly into today's high, but exactly into my purple range that I'm kind of watching for. I think we'll see Ford above 13 tomorrow, or at least that 13 area coming back into play to see what happens, especially off of today's move. So yeah, shout out to Ford. Shout out to Ford. Hotter than a Colombian escort at an FBI convention. What are Colombian escorts doing at FBI convention? Palantir short swing in play, says Mikey. Mikey, I hope you get paid out for that one, because I'm actually bullish as fuck. I think Palantir could give you a little bit of a short move back into 22 tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. Maybe we get a little bit of a fake out breakout on 24, a little bit of fake breakout, and then a straight move to the downside into $22. That is a possibility, at which point, yeah, you do make money. But I think 22 shows buying, and then we start making a move back up to the north side. The market's way too hot right now. The bulls are hot. People like Michael Burry are getting buried or cremated and burnt. Either or could be an appropriate terminology. Michael Burry is getting buried, or Michael Burry is getting burnt. So shorts, be careful. That's all I'm gonna say on that side. Netflix, I mean, you could trade Netflix, but you know, there's other hotter stocks at the moment in the tech sector. Netflix hasn't really come into this 580 area for me to be interested yet, so maybe just wait for Netflix to push into 580, and then on the breakout of 580 you can get a little bit more excited or something. But right now, just let Netflix do its thing. You got other fun stocks such as Meta. Meta was a monster today. Meta popping right back into looking like it wants to go into 500. Google, not really that much fun today, but Google looking like it wants to pop back up after what looked like a little bit of a weak earnings report. Microsoft still near all-time highs. Nvidia, I can't stop talking about Nvidia, so I'll stop talking about Nvidia. AMD was slowing down a little bit, sadly. Not what I want to see AMD doing. That makes me cry. I think I forgot to talk about one earnings stock, however, Spotify. This one is still very volatile today. Did not actually know that it would do this much of a move, but the shout out to Spotify bouncing off of yesterday's low, going right back into this solid 52-week high range. Actually, that's not even a 52-week high. This is like a long-term resistance. So moving back into that long-term resistance, showing you bullish moves coming in on the second day of earnings report on Spotify. I think we're looking to see 250 coming in very, very soon on Spotify. So watch out for that one. I don't think it comes in at the end of this week, but very, very soon we are looking for 250 in play on Spotify. So that's a stock to keep an eye out for. And I think that is pretty much all the watch list. The next one, oh, did we see the IPO today? Oh baby, that looked like a little fun. How much volume did the IPO bring in today? 12.7 million, not bad. Okay, let me see the 1 minute. Oh, that looks shit. Oh, that looks shit. So it opened, ran up $1. No, what did it open at? 1284, ran up to 1298, dropped back to 1284, closed at 1293. Okay. And then we drop into 1263. Kind of consolidate. Some buying shows up. Move up. Consolidate. That looked pretty shit. Yikes. What was the stock supposed to open at? $13 to $15? So it opened somewhere over here. Let's go check the IPO calendar real quick to see what it actually priced in at. Priced in at $12. They were supposed to offer in $980 million. They came in at $672 million. So brought down the amount of shares that they were offering basically to the market, bringing down that amount and now taking down the valuation to $12. Not valuation, I guess, but the price, the demand going down to $12. Let's see if there's another big IPO coming up anytime soon. Looks like BBB Foods Inc. Triple B. I like that. TBBB, Triple B coming out with an IPO on the 9th of February. God damn it, why are all these IPOs happening when I'm not in the goddamn market? Anyways, a couple good ones maybe tomorrow. You got a 300 million, another 300 million, both of them coming out tomorrow. Supposed to be a therapeutic company and some random company, not sure what this is. Fortega Group. What do you guys do? Insurance. So Fortega Group looks like something about insurance over there. They're IPOing tomorrow. But this one, Triple B on the 9th, looks a little bit promising. What do you guys have on your portfolio? Triple B. We are pioneers in Mexico. Okay. Bueno, bonito, ya barito. Okay, that sounds great, which is basically translates to good, nice, and affordable. Oh, okay, I like that. Their numbers do look good off a quick glance, but I want to do more research on them, so maybe we'll do more research on these guys tomorrow. Triple B Foods IPOing on the market on the 9th of February. So that will be on the Friday. So we'll talk about this tomorrow, which will be the last episode of this week. So make sure you tune in for that one. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have the economic calendar to talk about. So the economic calendar tomorrow is a little bit busy again. Not as busy as today, I think, but a little busy. We do have counting jobless claims coming out at 8:30 a.m. Fed member Barkin at 8:30. Only one important. Usually those are a little bit more important anytime a FOMC member talks. Barkin also coming back at 12:05 after 8:30. So he has a double shift over there on the microphone. You know, he's coming back twice. He's got to rap 2 times throughout the day. So he's coming back on the microphone over there. 8:30 looks like a little bit of an important time period. And then nothing else until the 1 o'clock, at which point the 30-year bond auction, which is a pretty important bond auction, coming out at 1 o'clock. So watch out for that one. It's also coming out with another, I guess, somewhat important number, the GDP Atlanta Fed number. So watch out to see what that number comes out and how could that help move the market or not. Obviously, the markets right now are just insanely bullish. They are pricing in the rate cuts even before Papa Powell can bring it out of his mouth. Right? They're already expecting 19% probability of a rate cut cutting in March, even though Papa Powell said no rate cut coming in on March. And because of the pricing in of 19%, you're watching the market move up higher and higher. Papa Powell did say, Papa Powell did say a rate cut coming in May, and that's why you're seeing the rate cut probability go higher for May than it was for March. But people are, or I guess not people, but the market's already pricing in a rate cut for March, and the market is just rolling to the moon. Insane monster moves over there. So watch out for 8:30 tomorrow, and obviously the bond auction, which should move the market, or at least should move the bond markets, which in return will move the market overall. So watch out for those bond numbers to come out and play. And obviously the ENPH would announce earnings today, and other stocks like ENPH such as SEDG, they move around a lot during bond times and bond events and so on. So you can see those also coming into play if you are looking for some sort of a trade event around 1 o'clock. So keep that on your watch. Do I have anything else to talk about? I think my mouth is running dry. I have talked about the most important stocks tomorrow in my opinion. ARM, Disney, Palantir, Nvidia, maybe Meta, maybe Apple. But honestly, ARM, Palantir, Roblox, Nvidia, if you can't make money on those 4 stocks tomorrow, you're probably not making money anywhere. So good luck tomorrow. That was a joke. I know you know people like Momo, you go trade Ford and you absolutely kill it. So that was a joke. Don't get upset. You know, don't go out there complaining and getting upset at me. Don't go writing hate emails. Well, actually, I don't work at that company anymore. So write hate emails all you want. Haha. Anyways, hit the like though if you think I deserve it, because I always enjoy it when I see the like button going up or like count going up. Anything else that I want to talk about? Real quick, I think SMB Capital doesn't have any new videos that we want to watch. They're posting a lot about options at the moment, so sadly nothing in there for us to go learn from. So we're gonna wait for them to do something new for us. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have seen all the stocks that are interesting. You guys are up to date on the economic calendar. You guys are ready for some of the IPOs coming out for the end of this month, end of this week, sorry, and not end of this month, end of this week. And hopefully you're all prepared. So I'll catch you tomorrow at 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you think I deserve it. All my social media links are in the description below, so please go check out all my social media links. Discord, Discord, Twitter, Instagram are three of the most active places that I am on. Discord also will be a little bit more active for the next few weeks because I'll be able to sit at home and basically trade paper money from home. And if that's the case, I could hang out in Discord calls. So come join me in the Discord call. Today's Discord call, we actually traded a holo together. So we had a lot of fun trading holo. You'll be able to come in, directly chat with me in the call. You can bring up some stocks. We'll pull up the stocks together. We'll go through the levels. You'll kind of maybe understand how I go through stocks and so on. And maybe we'll all make some money together. So come join us on the Discord server. If you want to find the link, once again, do !Discord in the chat, or go scroll down below in the description where all the other links to my affiliate sponsors are also there. Companies like Trade Ideas, Trader Sync, and Benzinga, who help me keep my trading at the best. My new scanner that I keep talking about. Maybe if you come join me on the Discord call tomorrow, you'll see my new scanner that I keep talking about, and then we can catch some of those monster moves. I know Dieter is excited about that scanner. Dieter and I have actually kind of built that scanner together. At least we had the idea to build a scanner, and we've been working on it. He's been working on his own scanner on TradingView. I've been working on my own scanner on Trade Ideas, so we're kind of working on that trading setup together basically, and we're excited to see how that one evolves. And we'll keep you guys posted, but we would love to have you guys join us during the Discord call tomorrow. So ladies and gentlemen, have a great night, and see you guys all tomorrow. Good luck in the markets, and goodbye, Moonman.
The world can be one together, cosmos without hatred, stars like diamonds in your eyes. The ground can be space, 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 with feet marching towards a peaceful sky. All the moon men want things their way, but we make sure they see the sun. Goodbye, moon man. You say goodbye, moon man. Goodbye, moon man. Goodbye, moon man. Oh, goodbye.